button, rec fourth window. Rec fourth, button, pause, F2. Notes pane, text box 5, text box, cap C. E. Note 7, notes. Text box 5, text box, T. Text box 6, text box, 0. Rec fourth window, N, resume, notes pane, note 7, text box 6, text box. 50 million years in the future, there was a smart man, named Einstein. Einstein had no hair, and had black eyes, and gloves, and he would always carry around a clipboard. One day Einstein built a lab, and he had one test subject named DeSillo. DeSillo was in a war called the Robot War, when robots tried to take over the world. The war has not yet ended, but DeSillo had gotten his face lasered off by a robot with a saber saw in the war. He was almost dead. So Einstein was going to try and fix it. Experiment 1, Einstein told DeSillo to sit in a big chair. Then Einstein put him to sleep. Einstein created an invincible armor made out of the most rarest material, infinity metal. Einstein made a mask using the same materials. Then he flipped 2 buttons and put a welding helmet on, and welded the armor and the mask to DeSillo's body. Then Einstein shook DeSillo twice and woke him up. When DeSillo opened his eyes, he had for once been able to see normally. "Do you like the suit?" asked Einstein. "Yes," said DeSillo. "Now you are free to go and enjoy your life," said Einstein. "I was lucky to find you, and to live from the robot war. Other people are not. I'd like to stay and help you with your experiments," said DeSillo. Rec fourth window, button, notes pane, notes 8, notes, text box 4, text box 5, text box. "Einstein, what will I do when you die?" asked DeSillo. "Good question. That is why I have came up with a robot, who will have the same intelligence as me, and he will live forever," said Einstein. Einstein put his hand in his lab coat pocket and grabbed a key card, and swiped it to enter the testing chamber. In the testing chamber, DeSillo grabbed the blueprints for the new robot, and handed them to Einstein. "Thanks," said Einstein. Einstein grabbed 4 squared pieces of titanium and welded them together. Then he wired a oil container to a rocket. "Wrench," said Einstein. "Wrench," said DeSillo, and gave Einstein the wrench. Einstein tightened the bolts at the front of the robot. Then Einstein wired a voice box into the robot's head, and grabbed a towel and wiped all the grease off of him. Then Einstein powered on the robot. "I call him Robo Mini," yelled Einstein. "Greetings," said Robo Mini. "Can it fight?" asked DeSillo. "No, he is not a warbot, but he can help you a lot," said Einstein. Rec fourth window, button, pause, F box 5, text box, H. Rec fourth window, but, notes pane, notes 9, text box 5, text box. In the robot war, the robots began to win the war. So at 3:00 a.m. Einstein began making blueprints for a warbot. Einstein. That will kill robots. The next day, DeSillo went inside the testing chamber. Einstein was holding a big leg. "Come, help me, DeSillo," said Einstein. DeSillo helped Einstein put the leg on a box. "Sir, what are we making?" asked DeSillo. "A warbot." "Now hand me that electric magnetic juice," said Einstein. DeSillo gave Einstein the electric magnetic juice, and Einstein put it inside the robot. Then Einstein put in a hypno socket inside both of the robot's eyes. Then, when DeSillo went to go grab the scissors, his leg hit a green paint bucket, and it spilled on the blue wire. When DeSillo came back with the scissors, he noticed there were 2 green wires, but DeSillo cut the one with green paint, stopping the flow of the electric magnetic juice. Then the Green wire was pumping nuclear waste into the robot. DeSillo welded the robot together. The robot had 2 legs, that look like a crab, and 2 arms that he can shoot nuclear waste out of, and his arms looked just like his legs, and he had a glass head and inside was his brain. DeSillo powered him on. When the robot turned on, he hit DeSillo, and smashed a wall. Einstein ran to DeSillo. "What did you do?" yelled Einstein. "I think I may have cut the wrong green wire," said DeSillo. "There's only one green wire, you had to cut the blue, or you spilled the green paint on the blue wire," yelled Einstein. Wreck 4th window.